I am here to say, and I'll get to the meat and the potatoes, is the Warriors dynasty is done. The Warriors dynasty is done. I think we should spin back the block on, my older words about how the Warriors have failed Steph Curry for the past couple of years into his later career. But Damo, Sage, tell me how the Warriors let Klay Thompson go. How they dropped the ball on this one.
You know, usually I would say that I can't call it drop the ball because Klay ain't Klay. Woo, woo, bang, bang. I'd give them some bail even there, even though in hindsight, Klay, Dre, and Curry should have had more chips. But besides the point. However, man, the things that I'm hearing about why Klay had to get out of there and like why Klay knew that he was going to leave regard, y'all are nasty. Y'all sounded like I keep saying, yo, Warriors fans, like you are like us, Nick. You're next up. You're the chosen one. This is starting to become some Warrior shit. Low key, that the way that they've managed this situation, apparently, allegedly. They said they didn't have the money for PG. I mean, they said they didn't have the money for Klay. They didn't want to extend him too long term, but then they were willing to get Paul George, Max, all the other yada yada yada. Man, this is looking pretty bad. Now, do I think it's the end of the world that Klay Thompson isn't returning? Not necessarily, but it's a bad look. I don't know how they found a way to make this an awful look and essentially losing big time contracts, big time tradable contracts for funsies. It's not looking good for him, man.
End of an era, Damo.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't talking about that enough, in my opinion. I've seen this offseason, this free agency cycle so far. A lot of people are just glossing over the fact that the Splash Brothers are dismantled. They're glossing over the fact that Klay Thompson and Steph Curry will not share a backcourt. And this is the first time this has happened since 2012. Klay was drafted in 2011. So 2011, 2012. So over 10 years, these guys have been sharing a backcourt, giving us immaculate basketball, changed the way we play the game of basketball, changed how people see the game of basketball, how teams construct rosters, what people value in bigs, guards, wings, everything. And now he is on the Dallas Mavericks, which kudos to the Mavericks. Mavericks have one of those teams go to the finals, and they said they're not done yet. They go out there and get Najee Marshall, which is an upgrade from Derrick Jones. They go out there and they get Klay Thompson, who that was one of the three teams where I felt he would have fit very well on. So him going there, match made in heaven. He can go somewhere, shoot all the Klay Thompson shots he needs. The Warriors are clowns. Omar, I've apologized before. I gave you your flowers, and we're here now. They have mismanaged the tail end of the Warriors dynasty. You called it when they wouldn't trade the picks for was it Bradley Beal at the time in 21?
It was like Beal, Cat, PG.
Yeah, go back to Wiseman shit if you want to for when I was saying it, but go ahead. I mean, go ahead.
But I'm saying around that time, because that was a 2020 pick, but even then, to your point, they wouldn't trade the players in the picks for any role player or any third star type of player, second star type of player at the time. And you called it that this is going to end very badly. And they didn't win in 22, but that win in 22 does not negate the fact that they probably killed off a 5-6 year run they could have had they managed this situation correctly. I don't know if you want to point at ownership because Bob Myers is gone, so you can't point at Bob. So this is the front office at this point, and they've only gotten worse since Bob left. So disgusting work from the Warriors. Missed out on PG, missed out on trading Chris Paul and Wiggins for Zach LaVine, missed out on trading to get D'Lo at the very least. What did they get out of the sign and trade to Dallas? Did they get picks? Like what was it?
So they got some guys. I mean, they got some picks. Dallas is going to send them some picks. Josh Green is going to Charlotte. Let me see if I got it right here. So the report move will come through a sign and trade that will send Josh Green to Charlotte Hornets and 2 second-round picks to the Warriors. I think that there is a little bit more detail in that conversation, and I'll find that as well. But yeah, no, I've been saying it. I have been saying it. This was a This is a fumble, historic level fumble. I know people thought that Wiseman would have panned out, I guess, whatever. All these guys, it shouldn't be a situation where we're coming into aging. They really didn't play their young guys properly and put them in the best positions to succeed. They kind of just let Jordan Poole kind of go. I know that Draymond needed to be on maybe a better leash, but also we gotta talk about Klay Thompson, who apparently he has some antics in the locker room. But before we get into that, I don't want to be so doom and gloom. You know, I was looking at, what was it? I was looking at a stat earlier or a graphic earlier that was talking about, you know, so many titles, so many rings, so many conference finals appearances. I mean, they rewrote basketball. That is a story in basketball history, the way that we are looking at the game now, the way that, you know, teams are looking at building teams now, getting up the threes, the amount of threes that they got. This is, I mean, again, I don't know how far into basketball. If somebody says you had to write a 1-page paper when it comes to basketball, I would have to think that the Warriors, this iteration of the Warriors, has to make some sort of, you know, paragraph or something like that. They got to get 2 sentences. You got a 1-page paper in basketball. Who you got on that 1-page paper? Jerry West, Bill Russell, Magic Bird.
Oh, I thought you was saying.
Oh,
MJ.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. We're in a space.
Oh, well, MJ. Then you go Shaq, Kobe, Duncan.
Duncan.
I mean,
you gotta go.
That's 5 rings.
I mean, Shaq, Kobe, Duncan, LeBron.
Shaq, Kobe, Duncan, LeBron, then Steph.
Yeah, LeBron, Steph, to be honest.
And the story stops there.
I'm about to say, and unless you want to go with the but you're gonna sound mad xenophobic, but if you go with like a Euro movement or something at the tail end because of NBA parity.
And I thought I said Wilt. If I said Wilt, I didn't say Kareem, but maybe 10 pages is, 10 things that we can do, but I just think that, and maybe it's greedy, me as a fan of basketball, I think that there's a world in which Steph Curry pushes 7-8. Klay Thompson pushes 7-8. I'm talking about rings at this point. Draymond pushes 7-8. Steve Kerr pushes 7-8 as a coach, and then we talk about the rings that he has as a player. And I just felt like they dropped the ball, just totally dropped the ball.
Yeah, that's where the pain from this conversation comes from. Not to like beat a dead horse, but for that comment 234, bro, we understand that Klay Thompson today's game, he ain't, the DPOY. Well, he never was DPOY. He's not the all NBA defender, pardon me, that the 2015, 16, 17, 18 even Warriors fans remember. But it's just the principle of like, this is how it's played out. And we've noticed that the Warriors were starting to mess up for years now. And the way that it's even ended, that's what we're trying to illustrate to you guys. For anybody that thinks that we think Klay Thompson is still in 20, nobody on this stage thinks that. It's just like, wow. Like even the final chapter was messy. Yeah, that's embarrassing, bro.
I do want to ask, we're looking at the Warriors organization as a whole, what they've got going on as a whole. And apparently we think that it's Draymond. A lot of people want to say that it's Draymond, but I do have something I want to read here in a second. What do they do from here? Because I think when you come off a history like they just did, and you still have a great player like Steph. I mean, Steph still, I know he's old, but I don't think he's done. What do you do here when you have still such a great player that can still play ball the way that Steph can play ball?
For me, there's 2 hats. There's the basketball fan hat, and then there's this is a business hat. This is the business hat is you sit Steph down and you say, hey, gang, we want you to be a lifetime Warrior. We want you to be a Warrior for life. We need to keep selling these shoes, these jerseys, your likeness, all that, filling up butts and seats with little kids that want to see you shoot from deep. Pause. Yeah. We want to keep you here. So I don't know if we're going to rebuild. I don't know if we're going to keep trying to retool, but we're going to bring you into the fold. We're going to LeBron James you. You will know everything going on. We won't give you full disclosure. And then go from there. No matter what happens, he's untouchable. They don't touch Steph. They let Steph get whoever he wants here to try to win or whatever it is for the last 5-6 years he's here. That's the business hat. The basketball fan hat, trade that nigga now. Right now. I mean, this very moment, trade that nigga. Send him somewhere. Wherever he wants to go, whoever got the best value, whatever. Trade him. Reset. You niggas did the unbelievable. You drafted somebody who no one thought would be this level of a player, and you got an all-time great dynasty run out of it. You won, Warriors. You won for the like what y'all did in this last 10 years can hold y'all for another 15 years of sadness. Because I remember what it was like for Warrior fans in the 2000s. I didn't know they made you niggas. So I promise you, it is okay. Trade him. That's the fan hat. Trade him yesterday.
You got it.
No, I want to ask you a question specifically because I saw this report. This is from Jay Dumas. Klay Thompson's antics behind the scenes have been equally exhausting as Draymond's. Klay has been equally as exhausting behind the scenes. It's not as loud. It's not as loud because it's not you stomping on someone's chest. If he's slamming stuff on the bench and sulking and doing that on the court, how do you think it is in practice? How do you think it is in the locker room? It has been uncomfortable. It has. Just doesn't come off as loudly as Draymond Green. Now, I think it's a little bit of a contradiction, or there's a problem with that for me because, Draymond is loud. His is loud. So why not get rid of the loud guy there? But Sage, what do you feel about, and mind you, this is post-Dynasty now.
Yep.
Way post-Dynasty. What do you feel about reports like that coming out about the situation? And just even what I just said about
Steph's frustration and everybody else's. I'm not gonna lie. I take that story and I say that's fine. If Steph want him gone, he gone. If Steph don't want him gone, he stays. I'm sorry. I think this is such a dangerously simple thing the Warriors have to solve, and it's just a matter. The only challenging part, pardon me, I'm sorry, I tripped over my words there. The only challenging part about the situation the Golden State Warriors are in is which direction they want to go. Damo pretty much hit it on the head. But in terms of whether it's miscellaneous quotes, whether it's attitude on the bench from whoever the fuck, there's only one person, and it's going to sound like Glaze, but there's only one person in that organization that matters, and that's 30, and what the hell are you doing with them? Now, I think when we're talking about, like, if Curry don't want to be there, I hope I heard your quote correctly when you were saying that the person that was doing that was Curry. If Curry don't want to be there, all right, man. Sorry, Warriors fans.
They said it was Klay that was
Klay. Okay, thank you. That's what I thought. So, hey, well, in regards to Klay Thompson, Curry want Klay there, Klay stays. Curry don't want Klay there, Klay gone. Now, the only time you even usurp that is if Steph is obviously doing friendly fire to himself. He's sabotaging himself. He doesn't even know it. Then you sit him down and say, hey, just so you know, this guy ain't good. But for the most part, to answer like what direction the Warriors going, it's not this complicated. It's just the issue is, and that's going to lead into my hot take later on, but that's not for this clip and that's not for this time. So such scary have your cake and eat it too as front offices yet again. Bro, you got an all-time great. Yes, the Warriors were great in terms of what they were able to accomplish. You got 4 rings out of Steph Curry. Hell, some franchises don't get 4 rings in 40 years. I'm not belittling what you have accomplished. What I am saying is not only do we feel, all of us on stage, they could have had more, but we still feel that, hey, Curry's good enough to do it again if you just stop trolling him. So for the love of the Lord, go all in or pack Curry up. Now, for me, I even go a step further than what Damo's talking about. Damo, I think we live and die with 30. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I'm not even thinking about this next generation Warriors basketball because when it happens, it happens. In this version of the NBA, overpay a player, sign that role player, flip that player for picks, and then move accordingly when you know you're trash. But at this moment in time, bro, let's trade all the young niggas. Let's get somebody that pairs well with Steph Curry and then build the roster accordingly. The issue is, and this is why I will forever say that they might have royally fucked themselves up, they lost the Chris Paul tradable contract. I believe so. Or is he still
Yeah.
technically there? Oh, yeah, they lost that. So they lost that contract. And then now they pretty much fucked up the Clay situation. So they're out 2 massive trade contracts or tradable assets in terms of just evening up cap. You're going to have to throw Andrew Wiggins at somebody and then Kuminga. Now you see what I'm saying? Like your assets is already getting kind of fucked up. But if you can't do it, then 30 got to go. But I'm down with Steph Curry, bro. I'm not going to lie.
I think that ultimately I'm happy for the Mavericks. It's a decent retool. Great acquisition. Plus some other stuff that they did is phenomenal. I just hate that we have to see dynasties end potentially for some CBA things, which we'll get into. But seeing a dynasty end like that, seeing, what the probably, I don't want to over exaggerate when I say this, but that might be the last great era for basketball.